Siri. Very familiar, right? You know all these very well. If you go back 3 generations, they don't even have an idea of what is this Alexa? Who is she? Okay, Google, you say. Thanks, Siri. Siri, open so and so. What a change. And how beautiful is this change? My dear students, parents, teachers, and all the well-wishers, welcome back and to another interesting video which students enjoy doing such things. Maybe adults take little time to change accordingly. If you do the same thing every day, you get the same thing what you get every day. If you want something new, you need to do something new. If you do same and expect new things to happen, how is it possible? We need to change according to the times. We need to change according to the demands of the day. When CEO of Nokia had tears in his eyes that he's closing down a reputed, a popular, well-known company called Nokia. The simple reason behind it is the change is not according to the pace of the times. If we don't change according to the demands of the day, we will be left behind. We will be pushed to the corners of the development of the countries. That is the reason. Even good old quotes of centuries and centuries back speak about, if you do the same thing, you get the same thing. You try different things, you get different things. Coding, programming, anything. All people talk about coding, programming. Coding, a basic skill. Programming is a complicated skill in the language of computers. Everything is computer based. If you talk about Alexa, if you talk about Google, if you talk about Siri, the base working system is computers and its languages. Having this knowledge of computer, what is this coding? I would like to just give a briefing of it, not much into the details, but briefing of it. My main motto of this video is, we need to learn according to the demands of the day. We need to change according to the demands of the day, but don't forget the core values of our work. I am not for change. I am not for change of the values. I am here to change the methodology of presenting the core values. We need to have that core value within us. But go according to the times, according to the demands. When COVID-19 broke in India, sudden lockdown, there is not even a hint that the schools will be closed, colleges will be closed, universities will be closed. No one is prepared for it. But the first change, the immediate change which teachers adopted is teaching through various platforms of smart devices, taking the help of internet. many of good teachers who were working so hard, who got their name and fame for decades, who were teaching in the classrooms, they were not in a position to change, and they have left the teaching position at all. During this pandemic, they couldn't cope up to the demands of the situation. And abruptly, they had to stop teaching also. I heard many stories of that. Because of there is no change. We need to adopt the change with open-mindedness and positivity. If I say, from so many years, I take the duster and chalk and I go to the class and teach, opening my textbook, if that only I will be a teacher, otherwise I won't. What is this teaching through the smart gadgets? If I say, I can't be a teacher during this pandemic lockdown, I can't reach my students. Nokia failed because they didn't adopt the change. Just not just Nokia, there are many, because I like that company. And when it was shut down, I grieved, I felt bad. When there is no change, people look for change things, easier patterns, easier work. Today's students, today's adults, today's working community, the creators, the dreamers, the inventors who would like to go with the pace of the times of today, having this knowledge of coding and programming is a must. What is this coding? We may think. It's so simple. I just want to give few briefings of this difference, major difference between coding and programming. As I don't want to miss out any important word, I would like to just read a few lines. Coding versus programming. An essential distinction between coding and programming is that programming is the higher level of coding that assembles a set of instructions, those are codes, to allow your computer to carry out the task. So that computer to carry out the task is coding, and assembling of these coding is a programming. And simple things I would like to go with. What is the definition of the coding? Coding is writing codes to translate one language to another. Code language we have, no? We speak with our friends. Same code language with computers. Programming is the process of assembling a set of instructions in machine language that your machine can execute. Coding, anyone, everyone. It's not necessarily, it is a skill definitely, but not a higher level of complex learning, a simple basic. Coding is aimed at enabling communication between humans and computers. How do you communicate with your computer? Through coding. Simple. Enabling communication. What is programming? Programming is built for translating human thoughts into machine commands that can be followed by your computer to bring about a function. That's why it is a little complex, as human thoughts are programmed. Coding is giving the information. Skill set required. What is the skill for coding? Basic. All schools can go with it. And I'm happy our children are going with it. And programming, little complex. You need to go higher education to have the computer programming. Computer programming engineers and masters. So that's very important. Then coming to the procedure of it, coding involves writing a certain line of code to send out a message to the computer. Certain line of code to send to the computer. This is what I mean about this language. Programming is analyzes and creates different sets of commands. You give the command, but program do analyze, and also it creates different sets of commands of instructions that help the machine to understand the steps involved and produce an output. You give the command, machine analyzes in the programming. Code is you just give the codes in the computer language, but programming is it analyzes and gives you the result and output. The summary of coding and programming is coding is converting human language into binary language of computers, our language into binary language of computers. Programming is using the codes to create a set of instructions that helps the computer complete a task, any task, any task. Coding we all can learn because we need computers to assist our day-to-day. With simple learning of coding helps us to put our language straight into the computer. Already the programs were made in the computer. You install that and have your output because the programming and the program makers are doing their computer science in their bachelor's and master's. And you being students, think of this beautiful change. When you talk about your grandfather's time, your great-grandfather's time, how was the technology? And when you talk today, with a simple command, you go inside the home, Google, switch on my music system. Your beautiful song starts playing. Don't you think how beautiful is this transformation of technology? We need to change according to the times. Otherwise, we will be left behind. Think of this wonderful change and transformation. Be blessed. Have a nice day.